Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Therapy Day. We have a special guest with us today, our one and only favorite Tori, but I'll bring her on in a couple minutes here. I just wanted to have a little time to say hi to everybody and to welcome you all if you're new here and to all my returning of obviously awesome community people. And if you're new here, I also like to do shout outs so I can show you how we are building an incredible community here. And also, oh, the other thing I want to remind you all that we have Lisa and we have Anne, who are our moderators now in our therapy session. So we're not going to have to deal with all the crazy trolls. And they stepped up and are doing an amazing job. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Anne and Lisa. You're super awesome for really stepping up and helping me create a better space for us to all have really great conversations here without this insanity that's happening. Okay. So with that, I mean, what I mean is the people who just come in here and just have to sideswipe us. It's actually crazy. So I'm going to scroll back a little bit and then I'll start from Leanne. Hey, Leanne from New Zealand. And so we got New Zealand in the house. We got Netherlands in the house. We got a Florida mechanic in the house. We got Indianapolis in the house. Right on, you guys. Houston, Finland in the house. See, I told you we are building a worldwide community here. Australia, Tennessee, South Dakota, Utah. Hold on. Sorry, you guys are moving all fast on me here. We got Central Tennessee. We got Alabama. If I missed you, please come back because my thing just skipped. Okay. So we got Indiana, Ohio, Belgium, Canada, North Carolina, Connecticut, Nova Scotia, UK, Bosnia's in the house, Dallas, right on, Myrtle Beach, Winnipeg, where my dad's from, Denmark, New England, Denver. See, it keeps skipping. So if I do that, because all of you are going so fast today, Pacific Northwest, Oklahoma, Maryland, what is that? Wellesley Chapel, Florida, Bosnia. I think I got you. Costa Rica, Illinois, Portland, Sweden, Illinois. Wow, you guys so great. I love you guys so much. UK, Florida, California. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's becoming completely worldwide. It's so insane. Germany, Maine, and is in the house. No, California. We totally got California in the house. And I just want to say to you all, it really does mean so much to me. And I think everybody in this room. We got 2 more Germanys in the house. How many Idaho in the house where my sister lives? And it just says a lot to me that, you care enough to show up every Wednesday. You care enough to come. Poland's in the house, to come from all over the world to have, a conversation that sometimes isn't hard. Sometimes, we got Israel in the house, right on, Scotland in the house. And I think it's funny. Every time I see Scotland, I say, my grandfather's from Scotland. And then everyone from Scotland goes, all American people say that, but it's actually true. My grandfather was actually from Scotland, and I just remember him dearly and miss him a lot. Charleston, South Carolina is in the house. New York is in the house. And so getting back to, building this community, it's like, I can't do this without you guys. All know that YouTube somehow is after me. So here's what I want to say. And if I miss you, I'll come and hopefully see you, but just put where you're from anyway, so everyone can see it. If I do miss you, Humboldt, Florida. Thank you guys. So Ohio, here's what I want to say. So I have been really pushing YouTube, and I have been asking them, what's going on? Why are you demonetizing me constantly? Why are my lives, so many of my lives are getting deplatformed or demonetized, right? And I'm like, what? Like the last 3 of them did. So I had to get on a chat with them, and they had to take it higher up, and then it had to go higher up, and it had to go higher up, and then it took a week for them to get back to me. And I don't know if I told you all this, but one of the things that came back to me was that my language, okay? So this is gonna be prepared for this, because you're not even gonna believe what they said my language was, okay? And they said it was the language in your lives, and one of the things that so it said, I can't remember specifically, obviously word for word, but it said, the words you used are just as derogatory or bad as one was the N word, and the other, which will never come out of my mouth, and the other one was the F word, for derogatory for a gay man, right? Which will never come out of my house out of my mouth unless I'm having a conversation with somebody who's maybe identifying as that. And you're not even going to believe what the 3rd word was. I'm going to give you guys, let me have a drink of my coffee. I want to try to guess. go ahead. But I don't know if I'll get demonetized if you put it in the chat. But just guess what the word was, okay? I can't. I'm not even going to give you a hint because I want to see what you're all going to say because you're not even going to PDF. No, that one we already know. I try not to say the PDF word. The C word, no, and I don't say that. Toaster. No, you're not even going to believe it. The T word, no. No. No, it's actually going to blow your mind when I tell you. I know we're allowed to say the F word if we're like, FAG word, right? Nope, not that word, Becky. Nope, not a T word, not the R word, which I don't. Close, Jesse. Jesse Beans is getting close. Okay, so I'm going to have to spell it out because I don't want to get demonetized again. So I'm going to spell it out here. Or first, let me give you a hint. It's a word that a very butch lesbian would call herself, okay? And it's also how that they use these particular things in I think is it Amsterdam? Is it in that area where there's a lot of water, to stop the water, okay? It's that word. It's actually crazy, you guys. You're not DYKE. I don't know if you get demonetized for spelling it, but now that is a bad word. You can say queer. Literally, you guys. I'm not even kidding you. You can say right on, Judy. Judy. I was a proud one. Okay. And so the conversations I have here are about talking about my past as living as a DYKE. I'm just going to say a D. Okay. And I identified as that. And many of my friends identify of that today. And so I was shocked that is now considered a derogatory, but you can say queer and you can say other words, but I'm just like, wait a minute here. How did that become a derogatory word? And so I interviewed one of my very, very old school trans man friends on my podcast channel. If you're not following my podcast channel, you can see the link right there. It's called, it's at the Buck Angel podcast, where I put more of my interview style stuff lately. But that being said, my friend Xander was also one, right? And so we talked about his past as a D person, and the thumbnail says from D. I can't even say it. From D to trans or something like that. And then they said that my thumbnail was derogatory and not on community standards. And I'm laughing because, wow, seriously, if somebody chooses to sort of reclaim words that are supposedly derogatory, I'm just going to keep going back to the word queer. I don't know how old you all are here. I don't know where you all necessarily come from. But let me tell you, the older generation of gay men hate that word, okay? They hate it with a passion. They are not cool with young people using it. They're not cool with people not understanding the history of it and just flinging it around. And then people who aren't even necessarily queer now, okay, just straight ladies, are claiming that they're queer. And it is a slur, Mark. 100% it's a slur. And so here's what I'm trying to say to you is that I can't even talk about my past here. I cannot talk about my past without watching my mouth, because it will get demonetized, because you can't say the D word now. And it is an actual fact. I'll post the email from them because I want you to all see it. So supposedly the DYKE word is as bad as the N word and the F word. I'm just like, okay, I don't even know how to navigate this place anymore. I just don't. I don't. And you know me, I'm willing to continue to get demonetized because you all support me and you all gift me and you all just really just help me keep my space here by subscribing and commenting and saying things and, really getting my videos out there. So I'm willing to be in that space. I'm not taking my videos down. The reason they demonetize you is because they want you to take the video down. That's what they do. They demonetize so you don't have an incentive because, this is a business. I'm not going to lie to you. You all know that. I create a business from this and I make money. It helps me to create these videos. This isn't doesn't cost money for me to spend my time researching, do all the things. And I think you all know that and you're all cool with it. But that being said, when they demonetize you, there's no more incentive to keep your video up. But I'm not playing that game, because my incentive to keep my videos up there is not just money. I'm not here just for money, because I don't make that much money that it's worth all of that. I'm here because I believe what I'm doing will create a better world. And I think, you have to walk these lines when you start to become in a space like this. Okay. You have to sort of check yourself constantly. Is the cash, ching, 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 is that worth really losing who you are and your integrity and why you really did do the things you do, or is it not? And for me, walking those spaces are very important. And I'll never lie to you that the income doesn't not help me. 100% it does. It helps me pay the bills. It helps me buy cameras and lighting and all the things I need to do to create this production. But there's a but there for me. I refuse to let someone push me around. You know that about me. That's the kind of person that I am. I will not be told how to react, how to act, how to be. I'm not that person. I never have been that person. And you will actually see from my book that's being written right now. I am not. I've always pushed against the grain. I've always been a very individual type person. And so if they're going to demonetize me, then so be it. There's nothing I can really do about that. And I'm not going to take the videos down. I refuse to take the videos down. I do not care. I will figure out other ways to make money. And I told you that. I always do, and I always will. And the most important thing for me in this channel is getting my voice out there for these children who are being sucked into something that is going to be a long-term problem for all of us. Okay. And especially for the people who really do need this medication. And I sit here today hoping that you'll see me as a human being, and hopefully that if you do have this idea that transsexual people don't exist, that you will actually see by me being here and sitting and having these conversations and bringing people like Tori on, that we do exist and we do need this space and that we do need this medicine, and that it does help adults who have gone through the system to be better people. And that is, I have these objectives here, and my objectives are to create a better world. My objectives are not to become rich from YouTube, and I'll never become rich from YouTube because I'm not part of that space, right? The people who become rich from YouTube are the people who follow these sort of trends, right? And do these crazy, if you look and see who are the people who have millions and millions of followers, even in the trans space, the trans influencers on YouTube who have millions of followers, is because they say the things that the community wants them to say. I'm not doing that. That is not my space. I will never do that. Those people eventually will crash and burn, and they'll have nothing. And I will have everything I have today and more, because integrity matters. Truth matters. Putting stuff out there that has long-term life to it matters to me. You will all come back to these videos maybe 5 or more years down the road, and these will still be relevant. My videos will still be relevant because I am looking at the future. I'm not looking back, and I'm not trying to stay in the space of I'm trans and trans rights and human rights and all the other nonsense, right? So anyway, that's what I just want you to say. You guys can't use the D word. You guys can't use the D word, so don't say the D word. And if you want to say the D word in here, make a big D. I probably, you can put it in the chat, but I'm not even sure about that. So thanks, Lizzie. So I'm going to bring on Tori here. Hey, Lizzie, I type your name in the search when I'm doom scrolling to keep you up. Thank you, the algorithm. Yes, thank you. We get you. That's right. We get you up there naturally, the old school way. Thank you. I appreciate that, you guys. So that's all I care about. I care about you guys helping me reach maybe a young person who doesn't understand what's going on with themselves, right? And all the stuff you guys do for me. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate it a lot. It really helps, stay strong. Yes, I will, Pepper, and I can, because I know that you all show up, okay? So let's bring Tori on. Let me go find her. Here she is. Hold on one second here. Hey, Tori.
Hi. Let me go find her. It's like I'm hiding.
You're
It's
just
behind the
waiting,
curtain.
waiting in the curtain in the
Yeah,
green, what they call the green
the green
room.
room.
Right. They actually have a green room in this platform and stream.
Sure, I bet
Yeah.
they do. Hi, thank you for having
Hey,
me back. Hello,
right on.
everyone. I
And then I
actually
think
can read the comments this time.
excellent.
Figured
Yep.
that out.
Great. Yeah. Excellent. So yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Good. I mean, despite the fact that it's winter here, again, it's literally just torrentially
Uh,
snowing. It's
Wait, you're
ugh.
at, where are you again? No, North Dakota?
Yeah,
North Dakota.
North
I've never
Dakota.
been
Yeah,
to North Dakota,
you
actually.
you don't need to. There's nothing. I'm here. We could hang out, but like, there's nothing here.
No, I should just come. Remember you, everybody. Tori and I want to do the road trip. We're going to make
Yes.
it happen in the summertime, but we are literally going to do a week road trip, and we are going to just have the most amazing time, and it's going to be so good. What should we call it?
Oh gosh.
The
I
tranny road trip. Am I going to
try.
get demonetized now?
Oh no! Which word did you say? The T word, the
I
D
said the
word?
T word.
Which D word? I couldn't keep track. I just
TRA.
my gosh, ridiculous. But we're gonna go away from North Dakota. We're gonna go like in the heart of America, not like up by Canada.
No,
So
no, no. We're gonna seriously hit this middle America, and they're gonna love us. They're gonna love us. You watch. You know, my sister lives in Idaho, where some people think is kind of like that, but it's not. Every time I go to Idaho, people are so nice to me and cool and awesome, and I don't have any issues. Maybe
well
it's because of how I look.
possibly. Huh. Oh my gosh, you pass. Oh wow. Imagine
Just,
that being an important thing.
well, also I kind of look like a redneck, so with my cowboy
Do you?
hat.
Oh,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
okay. I guess I
totally.
see it. I
If I
didn't
put my
really think
cowboy hat on, I fit right into the rodeo.
I have my friend Riley's on here. She loves you. She's like, come to
Oh,
Utah. So hi Riley.
oh, hi Riley. Oh, sweet. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Hey. Okay, yeah, we'll totally come. Thank you. Actually, we will. That sounds like a great idea, I think. What we'll
Absolutely.
do is
Love her.
we'll ask people for let's see what Electric Blue says. Love you and I'm so proud of you, Buck. Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll ask everybody when we're ready to do it. We'll start planning it out and like what
Where should
states
we
should we
go?
go to?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, I fly there and then we'll get a car and then we'll drive back to LA or something like that, or we'll
You'll
do
fly to
something.
North Dakota?
Yeah, we should start there. What's next to North Dakota? Here's I'm going to show you that I flunked. I flunked high school.
Let's fly. Let's start at Minneapolis. Let's go from Minneapolis.
Okay.
And then yeah, because
Okay, that sounds good. So we can
North
go to
Dakota.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We
Go
can
to
go there.
Wisconsin.
I've been to Wisconsin actually. Yeah, I have. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm going to tell you, I believe most people are going to be so if people don't know, the reason why Tori and I decided that we wanted to do this because we did. If you haven't seen our review of what's the name of that movie? What's the name of that movie that we reviewed from Netflix? That was the
Will and Harper.
Will and Harper. So if you haven't
Sorry.
seen Will and Harper, so if your wife okay with you traveling with beautiful? Are you kidding me? My wife wants me out. She's like, you take him for a while.
Yeah,
I'm
your
cool
turn. Your
she's
turn.
literally cool with it.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not gonna wear heels in the car. Sorry.
Oh my god! So you guys have to watch. I don't know. Has anyone seen that movie because of that documentary?
Documentary.
What
Yeah.
the hell is that?
Trans propaganda.
It was so embarrassing. So
Oh
I
my
think that's when
god.
we had the idea that me and her are going to thank you, Holly. Me and her, Tori and I are gonna get a car and do our own we'll call it Buck and Tori.
Yeah. We have to. We gotta ruminate
Tranny
on some names.
no tranny road trip. I'm all for tranny road trip. It will actually totally bust out. It'll go
T
viral.
TRT. There you go. Hashtag TRT.
TRT.
It sounds like HRT.
Remember, I don't know how old you all are, but do you all remember AOL chat rooms? I'm totally
Absolutely. You
dating
got mail.
myself. Oh my god! So it was all M for M or T for M or T for something like I would tell man that was so funny. And then I remember it was M for T, so men for trans women. That was a big, huge AOL space. I remember that.
And now we're not even AOL, but people are all about T for T all the time. And I
T
don't.
for T?
Yeah.
Trans for trans?
Yeah, have you seen those episodes where it's like, "Oh, I was dating my girlfriend and then we both swapped genders." Like, "Oh, how quirky is
What?
that?" Oh, can I say quirky? Is that okay?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna censor myself. I'm not gonna do it. I refuse. I know Jim says take Blair. I know. Actually, it's a great idea. We really should. I'll
You
talk to her about it.
you
I
gotta
think that would be actually genius.
you could mix in like a meet and greet too.
Oh
If
yeah,
you and Blair, yeah, you
yeah.
wanna
On
be
you,
like,
yeah.
well, yeah, but I
Of
mean,
course. No, we'll leave you in the car.
I'll watch the car. Yes, I will watch the
You
car.
stay in the car. Oh my god, I don't know if you saw this reaction I did to this. I have a couple of great ones for us to react to, but this is couple that are like, just act like you're trans, and
Yeah.
then like everyone, and then they were like, you go into a hotel and ask them, is it safe for me to stay here or should I sleep in my car? Like, as if
No,
it's more
sleep in your
safe.
car.
Sleep in your car, you weirdo.
Like, who asked that? Who literally asked that? Like, what are you literally like going to these doors and going, I'm trans, or
Oh my
am I okay to
god.
be here? Like,
Transgender. That's a good
my
one.
pronouns are she, her.
My
Like,
God, people are so dumb. People are, I mean, really, I mean, you think it's safer for trans people to sleep in their car than in a hotel. Now you're fear mongering. That is actual fear mongering.
oh god,
I keep reminding you all, I've traveled the world. I go all over the place. I'm everywhere. No one's ever, okay. No one has, even when they find out that I am, no one has ever tried to off me or beat me up or no, it happened before when in the like 80s when I was a butch. I didn't say the D word when I was
oh, oh, I was waiting.
I didn't say that, but when I was a butch, oh man, a lot of bad things happened to me as a butch woman. I wouldn't say so much now as a trans guy.
Well, see, because it's better now. I mean,
Yeah, that's
we got
right.
to a point
That's right.
where you guys literally walked so we could run,
Thank
and
you.
then it got to you're welcome, and then it got to a point where it's just too much now. It's like way too much now. Like
Yes.
we are accepting too much as a part of our community.
It's it's actually sad, Tori. I think you came in, you transitioned 7 years ago.
Yeah, we're almost at 7. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. You really did a lot of work. You look amazing. And I have to say that it's sad for me that you came in at such a crappy time because it was
I know.
so much better before. It was. I'm telling you, even though we dealt with bullshit on the outside, us as a community, we were much tighter. We were much more loving towards each other. We actually cared about each other. And I think you came in at such a time that our community is so distraught, divided.
Divided and continues to just get
Yes.
further apart because
Yes.
God forbid we don't all agree.
Wow.
Like,
It's
when has
just
that ever worked? When has that ever worked where people just completely all agree? Like,
it
that's just
hasn't.
there's no balance there.
Well, also because I think the trans women really, I'm going to say it, I do believe they're the ones causing a lot of the problems, and
Sure,
because they're not like you, and
sure.
Blair, they're literally like these very bad people. They are. They have an agenda, and they're not like you, and they don't have gender dysphoria, and they're just really causing this weird disruption in our space.
Exactly. And then trans women like us, we don't make it all about us because we don't
Yes.
care. We literally don't care. We're like, okay, I'm gonna live my life.
Yep.
Like,
And you do. And you're like, you really actually, it's what I say to people all the time. People like Tori, Blair, all the women that I know, like I have a lot of trans women friends like you. Just chill, awesome, beautiful, make an effort to pass, walk the world that way, really are uncomfortable using spaces till they pass. That's a real, actual transsexual woman. And also you have a lot of respect for women. I know that about you.
mhm.
You don't want to like do what these weird people are doing to women. It's so weird.
Exactly. It's like I don't belong in a woman's space.
Great.
I'm not. I don't need to be there. I I've been invited and I like have felt safer in there, but, when there's another woman in there also, it's like,
Yeah, but I
you
don't think a
wanna get
woman
that
would even
space.
care if you went in.
I've
I
never
actually
had an
don't.
issue. Yeah, I've
No,
literally
I
never
don't.
had an issue. But
Yes.
I'm aware that it could happen. I've seen
Yes.
it happen, but, like, also, I don't get misgendered, so, like,
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like also it's uncomfortable when it's uncomfortable, right? So men's room, as you know, because you have used the men's room prior in your prior life,
mhm.
it's just a different environment. Like dudes aren't tripping. Like, there is sexual stuff that happens in men's toilets, but I think that it's just different. Like most guys are going in there to take a dump and get out. Unless I hang out in the men's room,
Right,
right?
well, yeah,
Unless it's a
exactly.
unless it's a gay man's
I
club
was
or
gonna say unless we have the
the
gays.
airport. At
Yeah.
the airport. Oh my God. It's happened to me at the airport where, when you're in a stall, this thing happens in men's bathrooms when you're in the stall and they put their foot through underneath. So that's why in Europe, the stalls go all the way to the floor,
Oh, so you can't do that?
partition. Yeah. I don't know if that's why, but more privacy. But in the men's restroom, in the toilet, when you're in the actual like stall, they have put their foot through, and that's like a sign of flirting or like, hey, dude, you want to like
Oh
come in
god.
my stall? Waiting for passing to be
Yeah,
a
I saw
slur.
that. That was funny. That
Oh
was
my
funny.
God, dude. It's a
But
great point.
that's what I don't get is, like, these people that again, I'm gonna bring back the idea of, like, passing, like, you put no effort into your transition. How
Yes,
do you expect anybody to take you seriously? And then why on God's green earth do you think that you, who have done no work and, like, in your own transition wanna be taken seriously, have any right to say you belong in a space that is not yours in the first place? Like,
that's right.
how
That's right.
disgustingly narcissistic.
Well, yeah, I think it does have a lot of narcissism. I remember when queer was a slur. Of course, did the word "yike," thank you,
Yikes.
become a slur?
Oh, oh,
Yes, yes, Pepper. Yes. When I opened up, I don't know if you were here, but I was telling you I got
everything's a slur.
demonetized. I had to keep going higher up because I wanted to know why do I keep getting demonetized? And they said your language, and I said, well, what did I say? And then they said, well, you used the DYKE word, and I'm like, huh? That's not an actual slur, but queer is okay. And they said it's like saying the N word or the F word. And I'm like, you people are out of your minds.
And
It's not okay.
it's just it's so offensive to trans women that put the effort in, put the money in, put the time in,
Yes.
all of that. And
Yes.
they're like,
Yes.
"No, no, no, we are not the same. Like, do not call yourself what I'm trying to do here because
I
no."
know. Well, it's insulting to us on some
To
level.
both, to literally both, to women and to actual trans women. Like, it's actually insulting. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
This person has a great question here. Michael says, hey, Buck, can you make a video on how to cope in a healthy way when you have a trans male child just turned 18? What do you recommend? How do you have a discussion? No, that's a great question, Michael. I want to say this first. I'm not a therapist, and I don't ever want to say, I want to say everything comes from my own experience, right? And I didn't transition as a child, and I don't necessarily think today that a lot of these young people are actually trans. I think, and I also want to remind you of this, Michael. Tori and I, we don't identify as trans. We know it's our disorder. We really do understand we have a mental disorder, and we fix it to look like a man and a woman, and we live in as a male and female space. We don't live as trans people. So that's my first thing is when I hear a child is saying they're a trans male or they are identifying, that is my first thing that I sort of get a red flag. How about you, Tori?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, when a child is talking about being trans, why do you know that? Where are you getting this information?
Bam.
Because when I was a kid with gender dysphoria, I didn't say I was a child that was trans, or I didn't say I
Yeah.
was trans. I
Yes.
said that I wanted to be a girl. I felt
Yes.
like I was a girl, and I don't know why I felt that way. I know I grew up as a little boy, and I knew I was a boy, but I was like, "Why do I feel like a girl?"
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the verbiage that I used. I didn't use, "Oh, I think I'm trans." I
That's
think
right.
yeah,
That's
it's like,
right.
why do you know what does that mean? I literally had asked that to a kid, like,
Yeah.
what does
Great.
what do you mean you're trans? What does that mean?"
And they can't answer it
they can't answer it
they
because
can't
yeah.
because they don't even know what they're saying. So to Michael, I first off will make a video because I think it's a great idea. But secondly, I think you should look at my last two videos that I just did. Both of them were about young people acting they're trans, specifically young girls, okay, and having this idea that they are trans and identifying as trans and going. So someone made a great point, which was, so why are you going on puberty blockers as a child if you're identifying as trans? Because to go on puberty blockers means you want to sort of present as a woman or you want to present as a man, right? So it's very interesting to me, the language now, because if you actually are trans, you don't want people to know you're trans. So if these young people are identifying as trans, to me, that means that they're not actually transitioning from gender dysphoria. They are transitioning to be trans.
And for the wrong reasons.
That's right.
Because it's trendy. I think Blair said this a while ago. Is like trans is the new goth, or
yes,
like, emo.
yes,
like,
yes. Because you found the purpose in your transitioning, like many others who are trans, which is beautiful. Thank you, Jen.
Exactly.
That's right. There is a purpose to transition. It's not to be trans. It is literally to get rid of this dysphoric feeling. Basically, Tori and I switched places. That's literally what we did.
Quite literally.
We actually switched places. Sammy says to you, you want to read that?
Yeah, girl, it's like the trans girls with full beards calling themselves a doll, period. Absolutely, all of that. Who's going to tell them, is the doll in the room with us?
Also, you know what I saw the other day, and I was like, ooh, the dolls are going to be so mad about this. A non-binary doll, and he was a total dude.
I saw that too, and I said, don't. I don't love the community because the community don't love me, but
they're
like
trashy.
I know what a doll is, and that is not it. I'm sorry.
Do
not call yourself that.
I can't stand that.
You can call yourself whatever. Yeah, but just don't stop.
What's her name? What's here, wait, I'm gonna scroll back up because there's someone missing here. Hold on here. So Alexandria, if I wasn't afraid to come out online and be attacked by the radical trans here and have it impact my business, my name would be included with you three. I'm transsexual. Oh, I feel for you. We both do. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for having really the nerve to put that out, because it's so, do you have I almost said safe space. We're not a safe space, but what we are is actually just solid people here. We don't want you to be attacked here.
But this is so indicative, because where's the diversity and inclusion right there in that statement?
Right. That's right.
Like, look how far it's come.
Yes.
So sad.
It's sad that you feel that way, my friend. Zandria, is that how I pronounce it? Don't worry. Just know that there's a lot of us here who are creating we're actually rebuilding our community. We are to create a space where we can have different opinions. Tori and I disagree on things, but the thing is that our ultimate goal is to love each other and to care about each other and to help each other. If Tori's ever in a situation, I'm always there for her, and the same for her with me. And that to me is community. Doesn't matter what our politics or align or disalign or religion or whatever other things that were. My God, I keep telling people, me and my wife and I disagree on so much.
That's good. It's a balance. There's balance there.
It's so healthy. I think that's what people forget about disagreement, right? It's super, super healthy.
Huey Lewis.
It's hip to be. Yeah, that's right. Now it's hip to be tea. It is, Diva. It's actually bad. It's actually bad, and it's going to come back tenfold on these young people. Hey, Lizzie, how you doing, friend? You want to read that?
If this trip goes well, will you guys do a Canadian tour in the future?
Never coming to Canada.
I don't think so. You get lots of content in my town. Oh
God, I know we would.
2 months of Pride in June and July. Counters of Rainbow.
I mean, back in the day, I did a lot of Canada. They loved me. I'd go there early on. I do tons of talks, and I did like 5 prides, and it's all, they don't like me there anymore. And also, I don't really, and I'm on a list. Did you know that I'm on the Canada, what do you call it? The alert list or something like that. Like every time I fly there, I get pulled over for 5 hours. I have to sit in this room and they go through all my computers. Oh yeah, no, totally. 100%.
Oh yeah, we're not going to Canada.
Nope, not going. I'm never going to Canada again. Just
only times I've ever been to Canada was because my dad wanted to do father-son fishing trip. And like, no, Absolutely not. Like, I tried to go to, like, humor him and, like, spend time with him, but can you imagine me on a fishing boat for more than literally 20 minutes?
Father-son fishing trip. I love
Yeah.
it. It's so
Yeah,
great.
it was, like, all day all morning into the day, and then it would pour rain, and my dad's like, "Oh, put on the poncho," and I'm like, "I'm literally dying. Like, this is awful."
You're like, I want to go shopping. I'm not into this.
Sorry to be, like, stereotypical, but I was
Oh no, it's
not
genius.
in it at all. I
It's
was
genius.
so Canada, no,
Yeah, no, 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 no.
even though they're my neighbor.
Pepper says, personally, I think that is what is needed. Level-headed people like you guys to speak. Yeah, thank you. I think so. I think, it's, cracking, we're cracking something. We're cracking some kind of ceiling or something, right?
I like
We love you. Thank you
thank
saying that.
you.
That's the thing. If people come here to feel, I'm not going to say safe. They come here to feel like they're not going to get beat up. Okay. We're not going to be, even if I told you, even if you disagree with us, we're all cool with that here. What we're not cool with is nonsense and calling us transphobic and hating. And I'm just not going to deal with that stuff anymore. I'm
We
telling
deal
you,
with that we deal with that on a
every
daily
day I
basis.
block 20 people
Literally,
all over
literally,
social media, at least
every
20
day.
people.
Yeah.
It's so gross. Like, what's
Oh my gosh.
happening? Um,
But here's the question, Buck.
yeah,
I think we talked about this one time before,
yeah,
but we think we believe that there's a possibility that there are children that have gender dysphoria
yeah.
because that would be us,
Not
right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as what a trans kid means is wouldn't that be a kid that was transitioning like medically
No.
and like
I mean, well, here's the deal. Dysphoria is a thing that a lot of people have, not just trans people. Okay,
right,
for sure, I probably had some form of dysphoria as a child, right? There's
yeah,
no
right,
doubt. But I always lived in reality with it, right? And that it wasn't even an option to think otherwise.
yeah,
So, and I think that was a good thing
mhm.
because it didn't enable me to think I could be something that I could never be. So the problem dysphoria is complete. A lot of people live with it for the rest of their lives. I have a lot of butches. See, I didn't use the D word. I have a lot of butches contact me and say,
Yikes.
Buck, I always felt like I wanted to do it, but I just didn't do it. And I've lived with my dysphoria forever now. And I'm like, yeah, because that's okay. You can actually live with it, right? And I just chose not to live with it, right? And as an adult, but the language for you and I wasn't around when me and you were young people, and I think that is the reason why we had to, whatever you want to call it, suffer or do things, whatever, and got to a space where you and I could make our own choices, and nobody can fault us if we decide that we want to turn back.
Exactly, and what
Yes,
did we l and it's kind of the harsh reality of it, but, like, what did we learn from the suffering?
there you go.
It made us who
There you
we
go.
are
There you go.
today.
You're a Christian, right?
Ye I am,
Yes,
yes,
you're a Christian. So
like,
that
across
being
the
said,
board.
I think that they talk about suffering in the Bible. And doesn't Jesus talk about suffering and suffering not necessarily as a good or a bad thing, but it's just part of humanity. The Buddhists, if you listen, I'm like listen more to Buddhist kind of things or stuff like that, where suffering is part of human. You're not ever going to suffer. That's part of the Buddhist sort of space. They say
Exactly, and
you
they wanna
can't not
create a
ever,
safe space where nothing like that happens, and I'm like,
never
"Well,
going to
then
happen.
how do you develop as a person? How do you develop a thick skin? How the world is not gonna change for you," and that is, I feel like, what the social contagion of trans
Yes.
perpetuates,
Yes.
especially for these children.
Yes. Well, Pepper, thank you. I can do it because people like you give us this stuff. So we appreciate it a lot. We
Do
really
you know
do.
how I read that? Buck, only you can make prevent forest fires
Only I can prevent trans kids.
from
Like
yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
make. Oh, I want to tell you, I'm gonna make a little like superhero type like animation thing, and I'm gonna do talking stuff. Maybe I should do one with you, and then just talking about like there are other things that you can do, or just some kind of messages because people listen to animation, especially young people. They're not
Oh,
necessarily
yeah.
do this, but if we make some animation things geared towards these young kids who think they're trans but in a positive manner, not you're not trans, but like, hey, maybe you should try this. Or when I was a kid, I did this or this. But I do think animation is a real way for us to sort of get to the kids in a positive kind of way,
Yeah,
if that makes sense, right?
I agree.
Oh,
I
see,
agree.
thank you. Thanks for being here, friend. Really, thanks for being here. This is always a space that all of you are welcome to come to. Even the haters are welcome, honestly.
Dare you say this is a safe space, even for Canadians?
Oh my God, my dad's Canadian, so I can talk a lot of crap about Canada. My
There
dad
you go.
does all the time.
There you go.
I'm
Thank
one of
you,
those butch
Christy.
trans women. Awesome. Oh yeah, that's right. I got it. Aren't we supposed to do an interview? Christ, Kitty. I think we were, but then I think you went into surgery or something. But yeah, I'll bring you on sometime. Okay, so I wanted to get to a couple of these things I brought on here.
Were we gonna react?
Yes, of course we
Oh,
are.
let's go.
100% we
It's
are.
been a good
Because
while since we've
just
been
my
able to.
God, there's just insanity on the internet. It's,
What? No way.
it's just like they give us this content. They literally give it to us. I'm like, just
Literally.
I don't know if you've all seen my music videos that I've been making.
I just text you the other day. I'm like, so someone's having fun with AI, huh?
I love it so much. I like went on YouTube and I figured out how to make these little music videos. It's called chat music. And then you just take the nasty comments and then you just make music out. It's actually, they're doing so good. And so I said, I'm going to make an album called Diversity and Inclusion. And I make all of these music videos with all the hate comments because people are out of their minds and saying the most insane things to me. Lizzie says it's safe for me as a Canadian because it's the only place. Yeah,
Complain about it,
totally.
yeah.
Anyway, if you haven't seen my little videos, I put them on shorts here on YouTube and also on my Instagram and my thing. But so I
It's
want to
so
bring.
good.
Hold on one second. Let me see
I
here.
love that. I just kept seeing more and more of it. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh my God,
Oh my
so much
goodness.
fun! It's just so much fun.
50 kids is by letting them be their authentic selves, and if that means they're coming out as trans, then we encourage them, we support them, and we make sure that they have access to life-saving healthcare.
You know how much I hate that, Tori? Life-saving
Living
healthcare.
healthcare. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, here, hold on. Let me just get the super chat really quick from Crazy Socks. Hold
Why
on.
are we
1 sec.
assuming that all of these kids are just going to end it all because they can't? You were a kid with it. I was a kid with
It's
it.
propaganda.
We didn't do that. We
It's
didn't do
propaganda.
that.
Nope, it's not real. It's propaganda. It's actually disgusting. They're using children to further their adult fetishes because it's all these crazy, weird trans women who are doing this. Mostly some trans guys, but mostly it's these very fetishist, cross dressing trans women who are pushing to transition children for their own weird.
They make no effort to sound like actual women too. It's
That's
so
right.
male. And
Oh,
we're gonna stand
trans.
there and we're gonna talk about things that we want.
I'm a trans woman. Like, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Okay, Blossom. All right, Blossom.
I mean, come on, you can't not make fun of these people. They're asking for it. Hey, Crazy Socks, agree. My father instilled into me and my many siblings that the world won't bend around you. That's right. The best
Exactly.
way to make it
Period.
in life is to create connections and build good work. But that's what they're exactly. Happy Wednesday. Thank you, Crazy Socks. That's the problem. They're not teaching these young kids. They're having these weirdos right here. Hold on, my thing is freaking out. The right here. Okay, so these are the people who are leading the charge. And look at.
I'm not going to talk about electoralism here today, except to say that if your idea of democracy is voting, then your idea of democracy is incomplete.
What?
Every single good thing that has happened in this state has not happened because of something that happened over in Spring Street. It is because of something that happened on the streets that forced their hands.
Okay, I just believe they just want to hear themselves talk.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Blah,
Oh
blah,
my
blah, blah,
gosh,
blah, blah, blah.
Jim. Tori needs to give Blossom makeup help. She
Well,
wouldn't take
oh,
anything from me because
disgusting.
I'm not
Also,
a
she's
black
a bad
trans
trip.
woman.
No, she's a bad trip. She's a very, very bad person.
Queer woman, I'm cisgender, and I
Okay, I'm an older queer woman. Okay,
gosh.
so she is a straight lady. Okay, who's now cisgender and watch. So this is the thing that's upsetting me. I'm telling you, these queer ladies, they're not gay. They're just ladies who need to have something to do with their time and they're bored.
I want to really show that trans kids are loved, they're supported. There's hundreds of thousands of adults around the country who support them and love them. And I think it's really important to be here at times when politicians are trying to take away their rights without backing of science. There is no science behind the decision that has been made in Queensland. The government are playing identity politics. They're making trans kids a bigger deal than, we should be focusing on other issues around the country like housing crisis, rent affordability.
Wait a minute, I have to stop because this is the stuff that's upsetting me. How can children not be the number one priority? I don't care about housing. I don't care about how are children not your number one priority?
Sure, seems like they are.
To transition them, but they keep.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
To
it is
help
actually. What the hell is this person saying? Is so insane. This person isn't even trans. This is the thing I want to tell all of you out there. We have these people who are allies who aren't even trans. They're queer yesterday, and now they think they're fighting to help these kids get into a space that's going to save their lives. They're all saying the same talking points over and over again. Okay. So wow, just thanks, Jacob. Thanks for being a great member of our community. I appreciate you a lot. It's so gross. Like what? What are you saying, lady? Hold on.
Affordability, the problems with Medicare being unaffordable and people not being able to, generally live their lives. Like cost of living crisis is out of control. They're trying to get people angry about an issue that should not be an issue. Trans rights are human rights. And
the talking points.
Yeah,
the talking points. Lady. Oh, everything she said is so disgusting and so obvious that, yes, scientifically we know. I can show you so many things that will point to puberty blockers do not work. They did study 20 years ago with all kinds of things and it didn't work. Okay. So the only reason we have puberty blockers happening now is because they're accessible and they figured out they can do this to these children without any understanding of long-term effects.
Why do we listen, not we, but like other people listen to these people, that aren't even trans, that have no lived experience. Oh God, like
I know. It's gross.
Where do you think and they don't actually say anything but word salad. They say the same rhetoric that's just perpetuated. And that's the definition of insanity, to say the same thing and expect a different result.
That's right. That's right. It's just, I don't know. I get so mad about it because I'm like, who are you? Sit down. This first off, if you're going to trans your kid, shame on you. But if you're going to do it, it should stay private between the doctor and the family. And it shouldn't be this. Okay. It should not be this, whatever this is. This is not okay. This is actually promoting something that is so dangerous on so many levels. Because I guarantee you, if it was more private, these kids wouldn't know about it and they wouldn't be doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
I'm getting to a point where I just abhor the colors pink, white, and blue.
I know.
Together. Like I love pink. Like, don't get me wrong.
No, I do too. I love the color pink. Yeah. It's just actually mind blowing. Okay. I just hate it.
Boys are actually not wearing girl clothes. They are just wearing clothes, and whatever makes them happy, they can wear. Mama, so beautiful.
It's my friend.
Oh, okay. I'm like, all of a sudden there's a man.
You did that. He didn't go out and buy those clothes. It's not just clothes. It's girls' clothes. You as a mother did that.
That's right.
You are forcing him to do that. You want him to do that. That is mental abuse. And I'm speaking slowly so I don't tear down the entire hotel room that I'm at right now, because it's not my house. You should have authorities.
So basically, just to give you a little back, so this person posts their children on the internet. They're two boys who supposedly, they're like little kids, they're like 5, who supposedly like to wear dresses. And he totally slammed her and said, wait a minute, those little 5-year-olds didn't buy those dresses. You did. You bought those dresses, and you're the one taking those kids outside in the dresses who are boys. Yes.
I'm a trans woman and I didn't wear dresses.
There you go. Because your parents didn't buy them for you. I don't care. Kids will wear anything. Kids love to dress all kinds of. That doesn't mean they're trans. That's nothing to do with it.
Wait, as a child, I did not wear dresses.
That's right.
I wore dresses when I started trying to explore my sexuality and
That's
stuff.
different.
But
That's actually different.
As
you weren't 5.
child, no, exactly. Yes.
You weren't 5. So this woman is saying her children are trans because they like to wear dresses, which is actual BS. And then she's taking her little boys out in the public in little dresses. So people go, "Are you a boy? Are you a girl?"
I
So
hate that.
I know. That's right.
I hate that. Why?
Yep.
See, this is what I'm saying. Why are you transitioning? Are you transitioning so you can make people wonder what you are? Because that is what it
Great.
looks like. It
That's
looks
right.
like you're literally doing it for attention.
Yes.
You're doing it for the fact that you want to confuse people, or you find it funny, or you find it
Yes.
entertaining. That's sick. I absolutely
Totally.
hate that. Transsexuals transition to alleviate gender dysphoria and be the opposite gender. That's
Yes.
point blank. That is it. We
That's right.
we do not love when people can't figure it. We're earlier in our transition.
I
Can't
know.
figure it out. We're not like, oh,
That's right.
that was so funny. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was not funny at all. This
That's
is
right.
not funny.
That's right.
Oh, God.
So we didn't make a big deal about it. So now when you're pushing a kid, I'm all about kids playing with stuff. I'm totally cool with a kid wearing a dress or pants or whatever, but don't make a big deal out of it. Okay. And don't put them on the internet. Why are you putting your little 5-year-old on the internet in a dress and calling them trans? You're a sick parent. You're an actual sick parent if you're doing that with your child. My child is trans at 5. Well, no, sorry. Nobody knows that.
Or
Not
the
true.
yeah, it's like, how do you know?
No.
And like, or the ones that put their kid on the internet asking them, like, what do you think about your classmate who is like wants to be a girl or whatever? It's like, why are you putting them in that situation?
Oh, it's so upsetting. I'll tell you something. I just did a new video. If you guys haven't seen it, my latest one where I talk. There's this little boy who became a girl, trans kid. At 12, she started her YouTube channel. Now she's 15 and she pushes the whole trans narrative to kids. I'm a trans kid. And then, so I did a whole video on her. One of the things, my question was this, and everyone, if you want to answer it in the chat, you can. But my question was this. She looks like a girl, but she's a boy. Okay. She still has that and she still has male. She's gone on puberty blockers. She's very effeminate, but I can still see a little boy in there. Anyway, she changed. I'm calling her she, out of respect. She changed schools, districts, and went to a new school as she was transitioning. So when she went to her school, she became a she, her, and with her girl name. So everyone in her sixth grade class just saw this little girl. My question is this. I have a son the same age as this person, okay? And this person, so in 6th grade. Now, what happens if my kiddo has a little bit of a crush? Because kids start having crushes on kids at 6th, 7th grade. What happens if my kiddo, who's a boy who likes girls, has a crush on this little person who's not really a girl, but a boy, and then finds out that this little person is actually a boy and not a girl? What happens? Does that damage my child? Does it have an effect on my child? Is it fair to my child? Does that make sense? Does the question make sense?
Right.
I mean, it's not fair to the other people in the classroom who are, yes, maybe seeing a little girl, right? But at the same time, what about confusion? It's literally confusing the rest of the kids in the classroom over one kid who thinks that they're trans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also confusing the kid because at 12 years old, you're not trans. Okay. You might be wanting to be a more feminine thing, but you're lying when you tell this kid that this kid is a girl. She's not a girl.
Or this, you can have them whatever, like look like a little girl, but then be honest and be like, okay, but you're not a girl.
Bam. That's right.
Like live your
There you
fish
go.
fantasy as a child. I don't know
There
what
you go.
that means, but like,
I don't know either. But I do. I was a child who had, I would say, dysphoria, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to be a little boy. I was a tomboy. I was that little dude. I had a boy name. Like my parents had a boy Buck for me. I was just that little boy, right?
yeah, tomboy was more widely accepted.
100%.
Yeah,
But at the same time, At the same time, I never thought I was a boy. I
Right.
wanted to be. I knew I wasn't. My parents never said, "Oh, you're a boy, and let's just change your whole narrative, even though you're actually a girl." My parents never confused me like that. My parents literally let me dress like a boy, be a boy, beat up the boys, like literally be that girl, right? But I never in a million years thought I was an actual boy. That to me, that's the problem,
Yeah.
right? The problem is you are now not only hurting this little kid who thinks they're a girl, but the rest of the whole 6th grade classroom is on some level being affected by this.
We're throwing away truth in the sense of a subjective truth. And it's like,
Yes.
no, because
Yes.
there is actual truth, and then there's
That's
people
right.
what they
That's
believe is
right.
true.
That's right.
And I mean, and that's what it boils down to is it's not a problem of transphobia or homophobia or any of that. It's we need to establish there is a truth. There is a fundamental
Yes.
truth. The kid can whatever, that's fine. But as long as the kid knows that they're not really a girl, they're not really
That's
a
right.
woman or
Yes.
a boy or a man.
They're good, but they don't
They're
think
fine.
that. They
I
actually
know.
think they're a girl.
But that would
Yeah.
solve a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
no one's telling you can't slay the house down, like, girl, do it,
Go.
whatever.
That's right.
But
Right.
you're not. You're not a little girl. You're not a woman. You're a trans woman
Yes. Yes, and
or
no
a trans man.
12-year-old can understand that.
Mhm.
And it's not only is it child abuse to me to tell a little girl or a little boy that they can become the opposite sex. That's child abuse because you're lying. You're actually lying to your child. Secondly, when you give puberty blockers, this little 12-year-old girl, boy, girl was on, right? A boy to a girl, then they do not understand that their genitals will not be able to be put into a vagina because that has stunting the growth. There's so many, but this person didn't even understand that. You think a 12-year-old understands what they were saying? All the talking points. You know what they said? They said,
Exactly.
"Do you think doctors would give me this medicine if it was bad for me?" Like, what? Of course they would.
Like money? Like, do you have money? I mean, they're good.
That's
Hello?
child abuse to tell a little kid something like that and then just have this kid magically think they're going to turn into a girl and then they're going to totally have a it's just
'Cause I literally said this before. As a child with gender dysphoria,
yeah.
one, I didn't know it was gonna last the rest of
Yeah.
my life. So there's that. 'Cause
Yes.
kids do grow out of it, and people were I was waiting for myself to grow out of it, but I got to the point where my brain had fully developed past 26, and I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, so this is not going anywhere. Lovely."
Yes.
But, like, kids have they can't. They cannot know. They can say they know and whatever that means, but
That's right.
they cannot definitively predict that it's gonna last for the rest of their life, and
No.
therefore, they have long, standing gender dysphoria that leads to
It's going to get
crazy.
worse. It's only going to get worse from there. I'm telling you, when you do
Yeah.
that to a child, it's only going to get worse. The ultimate goal when you are feeling this way with dysphoria and all that is to get you out of the dysphoria. Okay. That's the ultimate goal. It's always been the ultimate goal. Okay.
Yeah.
And that might be not medically transitioning. That might be realizing I just feel this way. It's okay for me to present certain ways. There are many things that we used to do before we medicalize people. They have literally flipped the cart and the horse. And now it's like, oh, immediately slam drugs to this 12-year-old kid who's somehow feeling they're dysphoric. And that this kid told me that they had gone through some therapy, but what therapy? What therapy did a 12-year-old go through? And what was the diagnosis that?
What's the extent of a 12-year-old
Yeah,
therapy?
that's right. That's exactly right. I would
Because
love to.
usually as an adult, you refer things that happen in childhood.
There you go. Or as an adult, you've lived some life. So you're like, well, and when I navigate through the gym, I just feel this certain way, or, I'm just not comfortable going out the house unless I'm wearing man clothes. And people, when they misgender me, I lose it. Like there's so many, but those things are life experiences that you talk to your therapist to who can diagnose gender. You
Exactly.
cannot diagnose a child with gender dysphoria. It's not possible. They haven't had enough life experience to understand what gender dysphoria is. Gender dysphoria is created by the world. Do you know that? It's literally created by the world and by the way you walk the world. It's not created out of the womb. That's ridiculous. There's a lot of variables that happen with gender dysphoria and why some people are able to live with gender dysphoria. So, okay, so I wanted to say that. Let me just grab.
Sorry, we went on that. We went on that.
No, it's great. I love talking about the young people. Echo says we messed up when trans people stopped saying I live as a woman and saying I am. That's right.
Yeah.
Great point. Genius.
The transsexuals of yore were not saying that they are women.
Never.
They lived as women.
That's right.
But then I hate how these TRAs are like saying the same thing.
Yes.
Trans right activists, for those at home.
Yeah.
Are saying the same thing and flipping that and going, no, they were our foremothers because they were the first trans women. They were women before like it was even. It's like no, because they knew who they were and they were proud of who they were.
That's right. They were actually proud of it.
But they understood truth.
Yes. That's right. They understood it. They knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't trying to, even they weren't trying to harm people. They were just trying to live their lives and walk the world that way like you are. We don't want to come to this expecting anybody to believe something they don't believe. I don't expect you to believe that I want to be a man or that I look like a man or, whatever it is that I need. I don't need anything from you, okay? Except a respect to say, Buck's comfortable, he's good. Let's move on, right? Thank you, Buck and Tori, for being a saying and representation we desperately need in the community. Thank you. We appreciate that a lot. So,
which is what you built here. I mean, in this community is respect.
Respect.
I see
many of the people,
respect.
I would say probably 80-90% of the people that come to our therapy sessions are not even trans. This is the great thing. And all of them respect us. They literally respect us. They are not here to. And that's the cool thing about what we're showing here is that bullshit. The community saying, oh, cis people hate you. Sorry, cis people actually like us and more than the trans community.
Literally, the absolute fear mongering. Oh my gosh. I was literally in a session where I was with other trans people and they were talking about just the deep conspiratorial thing of it all. Like they're gonna round us all up. They're just like taking all this stuff up.
Stop.
And I'm sitting here. I literally said, I think that's a little bit exaggerated. And they're like, no, it's copying Nazi Germany. And I'm like,
oh
no.
My God, dude. What?
Like, you honestly think that people in the 21st century would be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's okay. We can do the exact same thing, round up an entire group of people and just off them.
I come from the AIDS epidemic, okay? People lost that was a true epidemic. And people actually didn't want anything to do with gay men at all. Like, seriously, it was so horrifying. You think what's happening today might be, nope, can't even imagine the way people spoke about gay men. And like, you can't sit on the toilet seat or you can't drink out of their cup. And like, all my friends were literally skeletons that looked like they were from concentration camps with sores all over them, suffering because not even one single person in the hospitals would touch them because they thought they would get AIDS and die. So when these idiots in this trans community talk about a genocide or an epidemic, they have no idea the history of where the gay people. So it's why I get so pissed off when they say LGBTQIA. The LGB has nothing to do with you freaks, okay? And it's why we need to separate. I'm all for separating. As a T person, I am all for separating, okay? And I'll go hang out with the LGB because I was around that time, okay? And I actually do understand the shit we had to do to get these people today. They don't even realize what they have. They have no clue. And it's why they're doing this shit, because they're trying to make shit up to make it seem like they're marginalized and we don't have anything. And
they're
I'm
taking
like,
it all away.
It's so gross. It is. I lost all my friends to AIDS. You know that? I will cry right now because it's just deep in my heart, the shit I had to watch and the destruction of men just wasting away in 6 months. They would be healthy gay men and literally to skeletons. And it was like the most insane thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Like it was just what? And then, so that's why I get so mad about what's happening today. And I don't want to have anything to do with it. I want nothing to do with these people and their bullshit rhetoric.
Danny made a good point there.
Oh, hey, Danny, how you doing, friend?
If they're actually worried about rounding trans people up, why don't they let others steer the ship away from iceberg? Exactly.
Yeah,
Why don't they
thank
learn?
you.
Why don't they learn? Because it's much more profitable
That's right.
to grift.
There you go. To make shit up. So on that, thanks, Danny. So check this out. We'll do a couple more and then watch. This one really irks me. Okay, this one is another one of these lies. Another complete total lie. Listen to this.
Toddler.
Oh wait, not that one. That one I'm going to play in a minute.
Oh,
But
yeah,
this
that
one.
one.
This one is really upsetting to me. This one right here.
Identity fraud, a new felony offense that literally makes it illegal to identify as trans.
No,
If
it
this
doesn't.
bill gets passed into law, then Texas would be the first state to actually criminalize trans people with up to 2 years in jail and fines of up to $10,000.
The law states this. It never does the word trans come into it. Okay. So I want to get this clear. These people are completely gaslighting everyone. What the law says is you can no longer, okay, say that you are like, I can no longer say that I am a male when I am biologically a female. It never says anything about trans. Trans is not on your passport. Trans is not on your birth certificate. Trans is not. So when they say you can no longer identify as trans, that's a lie. Everyone can identify as trans.
Unfortunately.
And it's not illegal to be trans. What they're saying is that now you just got to go by your birth. It's all you idiots who abused the system and said you're trans. Okay, so do you understand what I'm saying?
Or put X's on your passports and or driver's license. Like, be for real.
They're fear mongering. It is not going to be illegal to be trans. That is not what the law says.
And there are endless ways to be guilty of these gender crimes because anyone who is not presenting as their assigned sex at birth.
That's not true. That they never said that you can't present. They said you cannot lie on your official documents. That's what they said.
To any government entities or even to their employer is committing fraud.
Well, on some level, y'all blew it. Everything we
Literally,
fought for.
everything you fought, but that's exactly
Everything.
what pisses me off as a baby trans. That's exactly what pisses me off is that
Totally.
everything that you fought for and all the trans
right.
I almost said the T word.
Yeah.
All the trans elders that I grew up like respecting and seeing and going like, oh my gosh, like that I can relate to. All of it out the window now.
All of it. All of it. Everything
All
that all our heart.
years.
Oh my God. They don't even realize. See, this is the thing I keep saying. When you have everything, you don't realize that you once did not have it.
Exactly.
So they don't come from the space I come from where I didn't have it. And then when I got it, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? Because I didn't have it. These kids have never not had it. So we've never not had your ice cream. And all of a sudden they're taking your ice cream away. You're like, now they're making ice cream illegal and we can't have our ice cream. But look, bitch, we had to make our ice cream back in the day. Okay. So now get out your bucket with ice and shit and make your own ice cream. Okay. So I just get so mad about it, Tori.
But with good reason. Because it's been your existence. It's been your life, whether you liked it or not. Because you were such a trailblazer for the community, and others like you were such trailblazers that didn't go completely.
They're disgusting.
Woke. You did so much to help actual people with gender dysphoria.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It
A
just-
lot of us did, you know,
and it got
we're
blown
just so mad.
in like a matter of what, 3-4 years.
This is one of those
completely
trans
descended.
influencer people I was talking about. This is a trans guy who has like millions of followers and spouts this shit to the trans community. And then I'm the transphobic one, and I'm the one who's making bad things. But this kid is like literally telling lies. He's telling lies and getting everyone all amped up that, everyone hates us.
They love it.
They live for it.
Love it.
No other country will accept the X on the passport, by the way.
Exactly.
No other country.
No, only America.
That's
literally.
right. Nope.
God bless the USA. Literally, but you can tell they're trans because they have pink and blue lights in the back. Because
I know. Dude, it's so obvious what they're doing.
Oh my God.
It's just obvious. I want to bring this last one up here. I can't handle this dude much longer. It just irks me. Okay, listen to this.
Toddler was suspended from a nursery after they were accused of being transphobic or homophobic. I just cannot believe this. The Department of Education data revealed the child is either 3.
It's true. I did research. It's actually true.
Wait, who was this? Who is suspended? A teacher?
Listen, it's actually mind-blowing. Okay, watch.
A toddler was suspended from a nursery after they were accused of being transphobic or homophobic. I just cannot believe this. The Department of Education data revealed the child is either 3 or 4
Okay, that
years old. Department of Education spokesman said all pupils and staff should feel safe. I can't believe I'm reading this. Should feel safe and protected at school and should never face violence or abuse. The Education Secretary has been clear that she expects school leaders to enforce good behaviour, and we are committed to a comprehensive programme of behaviour to support all schools. I'm lost for words.
I've got to say, this school needs to be looked at. And the people making the decisions in the school need to be investigated, because a 3 or 4 year old, I've got a 5-year-old girl at home. She doesn't know anything about the world. She just about knows, you know, her name and a few things she's learned at school. This is ridiculous. I'm called transphobic because I don't want men in women's spaces. I don't believe men can become women, which is a fact. You know, so I get labelled transphobic for those views, and they shouldn't be in
Join the club,
either.
buddy. Join the club. We are trans, and we get called transphobic. No, that's real, Tori. It's an actual real thing.
No, I'm not doubting at this point
you
in
should
the world.
doubt it, but
I'm not doubting it at this point. But
a baby.
It's the same thing as them saying that they knew since birth.
Yeah, since
that
birth
they were trans.
That's right. That's right.
What?
That's right.
And he's speaking absolute facts. Like, I'm not a parent, but like I said, I was an educator for years, and I'm speaking from a lived experience of an adult that worked with children that is saying kids do not know these things at that young of an age. I'm sorry. They just don't. They don't know. I love them, but they have no idea what's good for them. That's the whole thing. Why would a kid like touch a stove? They want to touch a stove, and the parents are like, "No, don't do that.
That's right. That's
it's
right.
hot." And they're like, "No, it's not. It's fine."
Yeah.
And they're not going to know until the consequence already happened.
That's why you gotta let kids fall. It's literally why you gotta let kids fall. You gotta let kids tumble down the stairs. I'm around a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old from my brother-in-law, and I'm around the kids all the time. Literally, I'm around kids, and it's like, are you people insane? Kids don't know shit. Even fucking 12-year-olds don't know anything. They know nothing.
Coming back to how is a 3-year-old formulating transphobic remarks?
No. Not possible.
Okay.
They're just eating themselves alive.
Transphobic as a 3-year-old mean?
But when's it gonna end, Tori? What are we waiting for? The fact that we've gotten to 4-year-olds are trans and now 3-year-olds are transphobic. What are we waiting for? What the hell are we waiting for? What's gonna be? We have to wait for a meteorite to come and like literally wipe us all out because we're actually all stupid now. Like, it's just insane to me that they're letting what do you call it when you keep pushing the boundaries? What boundaries? Where's the boundary?
Where's the line?
Where is it? I'm actually really blown away by it.
In educational psychology, there's this thing called the zone of proximal development, and that is where the person steps out of their comfort zone to a part where it is uncomfortable, and then they learn from it. They develop there, they adapt.
Yeah.
And we are literally so stuck in our comfort zone as a society where we do not learn anything.
Unbelievable.
From these idiots.
Anyway, I'm pretty over it, and I'm not gonna shut up.
I'm pretty over it.
I'm like pretty done. That one just put me over. I already left the community, but that just literally made me hate the community. And so I hate to use the word hate, but you know, I'm just done. I told you I don't belong to the trans community. I'm not part of it. I'm not fighting for trans rights anymore. I'm not doing any of that. I'm fighting for the rights of people. Okay, I'm fighting for the rights to get back to sane, consensual space for adults and children, and so we can move forward in this world, and transsexuals can live amongst all of you and not make you feel uncomfortable, right? And that's our goal here.
I would almost push back a little bit with you saying that you're not actually fighting for Trent, because I think you are. I think that is like
Well,
not in the sense that
I
they
get
think
it.
it is, but like
Yeah.
actually exactly what you said and exactly what I do. You live your life every single day. I live my
Yeah.
life every single day.
That's
Just
right.
existing as who we are.
That's right.
And
That's right.
the existence is the fight.
Well, no, I mean, no, I get it because they ruined it for all of us to say these kinds of things because it's all
Absolutely.
attached to their insane language and their narcissism. But yeah, no, I know that's right. I'm just fighting for us to live amongst them, right, and amongst the world, and get back to that. It's a very small amount of adults who should ever be in this space, and
Absolutely.
no one should be doing this until they have a long term, really understanding of what all of this means and the commit. This is a commitment. Tori and I aren't turning back, and that's the
There's
reality of it.
no
No,
point.
we're not.
We are
We're not.
past the point.
That's right.
No return. So
That's
far
right.
past.
That's right. Well, the problem with fighting for transsexuals, which is what we do, the problem is it's still in the trans space. I just don't even want to be attached to the word trans, if that makes sense. It's like, it's so toxic and nasty and yucky. It's like, nope, I'm not like trans, okay? I am Buck, a female who wants to live as a male and move forward in the world. I want people to see me as Buck. I don't want people to see me as a trans person. I think that's kind of where I'm getting at. And so, like, yeah, fighting for our rights. I'm just fighting for it's self-preservation, for the right to exist in the world with everybody else. I'm not fighting for trans people anymore, and I did that a long time ago, and they ruined all of it.
Everything. Yeah. Would you dare you say you were trying to coexist?
Oh my God. Wow. Cis people are the devil.
Diverse and inclusive.
So I know, diverse. Oh my God. And then they make all these slurry. You're right. Someone, I think it was you, Pepper. Why is cis not a slur? It is a slur. I don't use that word.
I don't like using that word. I use woman.
So
and
do
I say I'm a trans woman. I don't
That's
go,
right.
I am a woman.
That's right.
They are a woman. No.
That's right.
ugh,
No. They're trying to divide. They're dividing and conquering, and they can have all their insanity. It's not going to last. I guarantee. I've watched a lot in my 32 years of transition. I've watched a lot of living as a gay woman, all of it. And it always comes around, Tori. It always comes around.
And that's what irks me the most is, why are we not listening to the people that have been through this many, many years?
They will. They will. Someone said Trump should. I'm working on getting into the Trump administration, just so y'all know. I'm putting together a group of people like Tori and us to represent, so that people can actually have a really great vision of people like us and hear the reality of what it means to be trans, and the real difficulty of living with gender dysphoria, and really realizing that you have to take this next step. The way people respect you is when you give back to the world. They do not respect you when you keep taking from the world. Exactly. But when you turn around after struggling and you say, I want to participate now and I want to be a part, I never ask for anything. I create things in order so that we can exist together, which is what everyone should be aspiring to. But they're teaching these kids to take. I need, give me, I'm marginalized. Everybody hates me. I'm black. The black community, black trans woman made the whole world, right? It's just like, what are you saying? And why do you need to even say that? Like, what?
Black trans women are Jesus. That's basically
Jesus. Jesus
that's what's
was
next.
a black trans.
Oh, I guarantee you, if you were to Google that, it's out there somewhere.
I can't take it.
Some
I just
TikTok
can't.
idiot, like, I went to theology school and actually
I went to theology school.
Like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, you did not. And they're just, it's the rhetoric of all of the insanity and the sort of manipulation of words. But as long as you and I and everyone shows up here and we all continue to put out facts and really put out reality, it's not going to last. It's going to crack, and it's just a lot of work.
And one last thing I wanted to say about, like, why are we not listening to the elders? Like, another thing besides the throwing out truth, another thing we've completely thrown out is respect. And that's what this place is full of that. But I see so many people in the trans community. Well, I love how I just moved it. Trans little bunny foo foo. Trans community that just have no idea what trans elders went through.
No, they don't.
And they have zero respect for you. And I read the comments and it makes my blood boil because I'm like, who the do you think you are to say these things that you are saying to someone who has literally 30 plus years of experience doing what we're doing now? That did what they did to get to the point where you can do what you're doing. Like, whoo!
No, I appreciate that, but no, they just
Mm.
don't want to look at it. They don't care about it. They've been taught this behavior. I have to rise above it, right, and look down at it. And these kids are being taught that behavior. It's not natural behavior. It's because I don't go along with the narrative, and that's how you know it's cult like. It's cult like. It's 100% cult like.
You push back, and then
That's right.
You're canceled or you're exiled. It's like, yes, well,
That's
congratulations.
right. I'm exiled.
You expose yourselves as the cult.
So is Jesus. Jeez. They were like, get out of here. Not like I'm Jesus, but you understand.
Well,
like,
no, what
okay,
you're saying,
the cool people.
Persecution.
Yes, persecution.
Following truth will always lead you.
That's right.
To a road of persecution.
So that's right. I'm like, cool. Jesus is cool, dude. I'll just be like that. You go right ahead. I'm not even going to say any lies to you people. You're all crazy. Before we go, somebody wanted to know how tall you are.
Oh God.
She's tall. I've been around her in real life.
I am.
She's tall.
Yes, I
Let's
am
just say that a lady never reveals her height.
Oh, so someone put it in the comments.
Someone totally put it. But you know what? It doesn't matter because there's a lot of tall women out there. I actually was married to a 6 foot tall woman once.
Model height.
It was a professional dominatrix.
There's that too.
That's a good story. That's going in my book, by the way.
Oh, gosh,
So,
I can't wait.
hey, everybody. Love you guys so much. Every time I hear advocates speak, it sounds like it's a golden calf. It's right on the fits.
Absolutely.
Right
I
on.
totally agree.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. Tori's going to become a regular on the show. We really appreciate you a lot. What's happening? Did you want to say anything about what's happening next with you or not?
Yeah, I will be gone for a couple months. I'm having some pretty intense surgery. So as one does.
As it's so difficult to be trans, let me just tell you, it is.
So I will be gone for a few months here. So this is my last one for a couple months. So any prayers, any thoughts, any of that is much appreciated. I love you all. I appreciate you, Buck, for having me on this, and I will be excited to come back.
So just send her lots of love. We'll check in with her while she's away, and then we'll keep up to date how she's doing and all of that. So see, Tori's just making her life the way she needs to make her life and not asking for anything. So that's why I love you, my friend. So, okay, everybody, I'll see you guys all on Wednesday. I got a new video coming out tomorrow, and thanks for supporting the channel a lot. No one said the D word. And if you don't know about the D word, fill everybody in about it. And with that, you guys, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I do love you a lot. Thanks for making this community really awesome. And gosh, the hours go by so fast. It's crazy.
I know. Oh my God.
It's just crazy. Okay, I'll see you guys all on the next one.